I'm scared, Harry. Kids from the estate. I'm not going to take it anymore.
You should talk to the police.
I've already been to the police. Bastards!
Mr. Harry Brown.
Well, it was a swan song for Harry, but not for me. His life was over. His wife was gone. His life was ended, you know. And he didn't care about dying. He asked the guy to shoot him. He said, you could shoot me. It doesn't matter. And I suppose if you get that, you're not afraid of death. But I'm not there yet, personally. No, I'm a long way away. A long way away. For me, any movie can be a swan song for me because my attitude is you don't retire from films. Movies retire you if you're unfortunate after your first movie, but it's been a long time for me. And I just wait now for scripts that I really want to do. I call it an offer I can't refuse. It's got nothing to do with money. It's to do with the film that I want to do. And Harry Brown was such a script.
He's got a gun. Who's got a fucking gun?
Jack Carter was a career criminal, real one. This guy's not a criminal. I played him as, all right, so he is a vigilante, but he's a vigilante as victim, not as a villain. He never showed any joy at any killing that he did. He was always afraid the whole time. One of the reasons I wanted to make it was because it's a sort of wake-up call to people in England that this is there, because they didn't seem to think it was. And even when the movie came out, we got slaughtered by say, extreme left-wing press and extreme right-wing press. They didn't review it as a movie. They reviewed it as as a violent fantasy. And of course, it's not a violent film. It's a film about violence. There's no close-ups of cutting and bullets and the way you get in violent films. And the right wing said it was exaggerated and there was no life like that because they didn't know. Right wing press don't go to the Elephant Castle to real estate. But I do, and I did, and I come from exactly where I shot the movie, exactly to the street. And my view of this is that it's not reactionary, it's not fantasy. Although there are actors in it performing, it really is a documentary. To me, it is there, and someone had better take notice, otherwise it'll be in the street next to you, and eventually it'll be in your street. And then you'll say, Michael Caine was right, we should have taken notice.
I'd like to do some business. Want to go? Is she okay? Maybe we should take her to the hospital.
She's my business.
For me, I was in the Korean War. You very often see people on the television, there'll be older people who have had a near-death illness and are cured. And every time you see them interviewed about how this great experience, and now they're fine and they're going to live, they all say, I'm now going to live my life. I really know what life means now. I'm now going to live it properly. You know, it's going to be different from my last 60, 50, 70 years. I'm really going to live life properly. Well, I had an experience when I was a soldier, when I was 19, where I knew I was going to die. So I should be dead, and I know that. And so I've lived my whole life exactly like that, but not from the age of 77, which I am, or 65, where I've had an illness, but from 19. And that was a terrifying, awful thing for someone, but in a strange way, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. It's all part of life's experience. I mean, I'm a Stanislavski actor, which means that you go by, they call it method. But one of his things is sense memory. So you use what you have in your own life for a start to build a character. So if I'm playing a soldier, right from an officer in Zulu to a sergeant in Man Who Would Be King, I know what certain things of what I'm talking about. My rebirth of my career was about 1998. No, 92, I think it was. I made a picture called Blood and Wine with Jack Nicholson, Bob Braferson. And I had retired. I was in Miami and just made that picture by accident. I made a couple of dreadful pictures and I just went to hell with it. I wasn't getting any good scripts. And then Jack came and Bob came to me with that one and I did it. And that started me off again. But then as I've come along, you know, I mean, I won a Golden Globes for one picture. I won the Academy Award for Cider House Rules. And it got better and better and better. And then went into a whole other atmosphere with Chris Nolan. Because now I was in these big blockbuster movies, which I'd never done before, you know. And so I'm having the time of my life. I think it's wonderful.
To them out there, it's just entertainment. You failed to maintain your weapons.